Hello everyone. So far you have done your first few classes and you have seen that some of the students might not be coming back to you. This is called the attrition rate. Normally in yoga, a 30 to 40% attrition rate is very normal. It means that if you get a 10 student first time, might be 4 or 5 won't come back to you. This is considered a normal this level. The best level of this attrition rate is only 10 to 20%, that out of the 10 students, you have lost only 2. Now, why this attrition rate happens? The first part, why do the students don't come back to you in simple words? The first and the most important reason, they don't come back to you, it might be possible they don't like the yoga class that you teach. This is a very straightforward answer. The most teachers want to escape these answers and they want to blame the studio or some other factors. Why do the students don't come back to you? They say that maybe they are expensive, maybe the price is expensive, maybe the studio is not good, maybe their timings of the classes are not good. But this is not true. If the student likes your class and you as a teacher, he will come back to you at all cost, even during the day. They will try to form a time, because if the student comes to you one day, for example on Tuesday at 10 o'clock, it means he can make herself or himself available on the weekday around that time. It means the student has no motivation to come back to you of making sacrifices for your classes. Second reason, sometimes the student don't come back to you because the type of the class what you're teaching, maybe you are an extremely good teacher, maybe the practice is very good, you have done all the factors are positive, but sometimes the student is not suited for that class. This is a second reason why do the most of the yoga teachers teach one or two type of styles. Like one of the class might be dynamic, second may be targeted to the slower pace of the student or to the beginners. The third reason why do the students don't come back to you regularly. You are not teaching enough frequency of classes. Teaching one class a week is not enough to build a career. In the beginning of your career, you must teach 2 or 3 classes a week. This gives 2 benefits to the student. First, he can have a repetition for the class. Second, if he's going to miss your class, he can compensate by coming on some other day. So this way, you and your student can have a bonding if you are teaching 2 or 3 classes a week. Fourth, the most important reason why do the student don't come back to you, because the student get injured. The thing is that very often the new students are not so aware about moving their body. They're not aware about the breathing methods, and somehow they pop up in your these regular classes where the students knows very well, where the rest of the students knows very well how to move the body. So this is a second reason why do the most of the students don't come back to you, because of the injuries. And the last and the most important reason, what forms the topic of this video, the student have no change of feelings after your class. You have done a very good class. You have done a very dynamic Ashtanga Yoga class or a Vinyasa flow with a nice music, nice ambience, nice aromas, incense, teas, everything was fantastic. But the feeling of the student was very temporary. So what does it mean? This brings us to the practical part of the topic, the 5 states of mind. As we have discussed during these yoga classes, that we experience the 5 states of mind either in a whole life. We can continue for one state for 1 or 2 years, or during 2 hours you can experience the 5 states of mind. So let's revise the topic very fast. The 5 states of minds are defined Shipta. Shipta is there's a hidden unconscious mind. It means the unconscious mind which is fighting with your conscious mind, which is generating the conflict. Whenever you want to do something, unconscious mind generate fears. It gives you the logic why you should not do it. And because of this conflict, in this longer run, the people start experiencing the depression, sadness, melancholic, and pessimism. So that is called Shipta, where the unconscious mind is more powerful than your conscious mind. Your will cannot decide that how do you live. The unconscious or the conditioning, what have been done in the first 7 or 8 years of the students or in the people's life, define how they will live their life. The second state of mind is called Muda. The Muda is that state of mind which is called stupefied or a very stubborn mind. Here the student reject all the notions of the change, might be giving a very scientific and logical answers. When you ask a student to stand on the head, he might experience a stupefied state of the mind where he will define that most of the doctors have told him not to stand on the neck due to some past injuries on his neck. So these are the very stubborn nature experienced by the students or experienced by the teachers itself. The yoga is all about the flexibility, and it begins first with the psychological flexibility and application of the yoga principles to generate the thought flexibility. The third state of mind is called Vikshipta. Vikshipta is a distracted state of mind. Here the student experiences total distraction during the day. Nowadays it's very common because we are exposed to the multiple and a massive information. So with the help of the phones, with the iPads, with the computers, we are continuously either communicating or watching TVs or watching news, and we are continuously exposed to a different source of informations. Sometimes these informations are extremely pleasant, sometimes they are not so pleasant. So therefore, most of the students, what you will experience in your class, they're in a Vikshipta state of mind, and especially those who comes during the evening after their work. The most of the students comes to basically to de-stress themselves with the help of the body and the mind. But sometimes teaching a very good class, the student doesn't achieve what he turned for. So therefore it's extremely impossible for those students to achieve a total bliss of the life if the teacher ignores the factor of emotions. So here the emotions comes to an existence. What I spoke in the 5 reasons why do the students don't come back to you, because there is no change of the emotions in them. So a good job of a yoga teacher is to move the student from Shipta, Muda and Vikshipta into at least the 4th state of mind. We are going to discuss in this only the 4th state of mind, which is called Ekagra, the one-pointed or a focused state of mind. In this state of mind, the student has a capacity to concentrate on those things what basically interests them. So till they have a kind of attraction or a kind of the infatuation to a concept or to an activity, or like for example when most of the people go to the theater to watch this movie, they are normally not basically distracted. But if you teach the same people how to meditate or to sit on a sofa or a chair for 5 minutes, they will feel the extreme high rate of distraction because there is nothing what interests them. So this Ekagra means one state of the focus that has been gained by doing a certain activity or the practices where you find some of the activities or concentration very interesting. But in this state of mind, the information is continuously paddled towards your mind. But though the mind is too much fixed on a topic, it doesn't get distracted. In this state of the mind, once you are focused, your emotions are very, very free to move and very free to behave. And normally it has been seen during a focused state of mind, you experience a joy of happiness or the bliss. Same principle applies in this yoga class. Yoga class is a kind of the movie what the student comes to watch. But here he doesn't only watch, he participates in the full movie as a kind of an actor. Now it depends you as a teacher that how you are going to bring his mind into a focused state of mind. So therefore when we teach the teaching methodology, technical stuff doesn't help you in the beginning. First only the emotional stuff will help you. So you have to recognize the state of the mind of the student. Either he's in a first, second or third state, and from there you try your best to move him to the focused state of mind. Now there are 2 ways with the help of the yoga to bring him to the focused state of mind. The first, mostly the Vikshipta, is caused because of the imbalance of the Vata. The Vata distracts, and the more you have the Vata in the body and the mind loses the power to have a longer attention. So therefore, the Vata can be easily balanced for the Vikshipta people if they are not given time to think. So that's why the most of the students, they really enjoy how to do the Vinyasa practices or those kind of the practices which are fast moving, because it basically allows them less time to engage with their negative thoughts. And second part, a very good yoga nidra. The teachers who are extremely adept of teaching a master form of the yoga nidra, they can bring the student in a very peaceful, calm and attentive state where the student is surely going to return to your class. So if you follow this principle and you bring the 5 states of mind into a practice of your class, you will see better result in a profession of a yoga teacher. Thank you very much.